season tournament are facing off against Saranac de Bergerac. That's what I said yesterday. The Saranac Spartans, who tough loss yesterday versus FM. 6-0 was the final score of that one. Tough day for Max Corey, but we have somebody new in goal for Saranac. That's going to be Tegan Van Valkenburg. Quite the name. He's going to be starting in goal. Here in the face-off, David Cooley and Ryan Campbell as we're underway here in the Twin Rinks at the MAC. There's Ryan Campbell moving down center ice. Tries to dish that one off to Gabe Moore, but loses it. The North Stars have a quick takeaway, but a whistle is blown. And looks like we got an early penalty here for the North Stars.
Big hit.
Off the bat, yeah. Mason, what'd you see there?
It's just like he was going down the boards and just got laid out.
Yeah, and that's a quick early penalty. We were talking about it yesterday, so this is Dylan Ling going into the box for 2 minutes, but we were talking about it yesterday. Mason, the North Stars have just been really undisciplined, especially yesterday when it came to the penalties. Yeah. They're such a physical team, but when they get sloppy and undisciplined like we just saw there, there's some blatant penalties that tend to come out. Mm-hmm. So they're starting in goal for the North Stars after having a great game yesterday. It's Boston DeRoy. 24 saves on 25 shots. He only allowed one in. The shutout was unfortunately spoiled there in the third period, but still an excellent game nonetheless for him. 9.60 save percentage. And then, of course, the story of the game was Kalen Brown scoring all 3 goals for the North Stars. Looks to continue that hot streak today, but we still remain tied 0-0 with about 16 minutes left. We're only about a minute in, and we already have a penalty and a power play here, though a minute and a half left in that power play for Saranac. No power play goals from either tournament game yesterday. Actually, there was one in the second game for FM. I apologize. But North Stars unable to capitalize on any power plays, and Saranac scoring 0 yesterday. Obviously unable to capitalize on any of their power plays as that one hit into the netting behind DeRoy. As we yet to get a single shot on goal or a save from either goalie. But it makes sense, you know, after a struggle allowing 6 in yesterday, Max Court said always a tongue twister. Courier. It makes sense the change in goal for Saranac. We'll see if that makes a difference as here comes a breakaway and a chance at a shorthanded opportunity, but no, not quite a breakaway. Didn't have enough space, but Austin Clark there tried to capitalize on the shorthanded opportunity, but couldn't find the space. As here comes Kalen Brown with 3 goals yesterday in pursuit, tries to get the centering pass to Austin Clark, but ain't able to hold on to it. Now a fight for it on the far boards. Saranac comes away with it. They're moving quickly down neutral zone. Little 3-on-3 action. That one fired left of DeRoy. That one comes back to center ice as Saranac forces to reset. Bounce off the boards. Austin Clark in pursuit, but not able to get there in time. As Brody Macomber. That's going to do it for the power play with 4:40 left to go. 14:40, I apologize. A lot of 4s in that one. So nothing coming. No dice for Saranac on their early power play. As Dylan Ling skates back out there. Again, neither team yet to get a shot on goal. Couple shots going in the way of the goal, but nothing towards the net. DeRoy yet to touch the puck. There he does there. That's going to count as a shot on goal as he gets a nice pad save. First shot on goal of the game, and that's going to go to Saranac. Now the North Stars in pursuit. Soboleski fired that along the boards as a huge hit. As Colin Anderson loses his stick, though he gets it back and fouls in pursuit towards down center ice. That one rings around the backboards. Back and forth. There's Braden Murray wearing Nate Buston's old number. Nate Buston, you know, Northstar's Mason definitely going to be missing him.
Yeah, three-time New York State athlete.
Yep, 26 goals for him last season. And then obviously Emmett Porter, who, when I was talking yesterday, you know, Killian had to steal my papers, so I didn't have it down. But Emmett Porter, another big playmaker they lost. Also Trevor Smith in goal and Chase Miron. But Emmett Porter averaging about 3 points a game, which is crazy, as there's an offsides on the North Stars. So we'll get a face-off here in center ice with about 12:56 left to go. We're about 3 or 4 minutes in, and only one shot on goal combined for either team. That face-off going to go in the North Stars' direction. That one bouncing off the boards. Big hit on the left side. Kirkby tries to get a hold. He loses it. Couple trip-ups there. The North Stars trying to come away with it at center ice, but nothing coming of it. They are going to corral it behind their own net as they try to bring this one out. Saranac putting on a lot of pressure. They know the North Stars like to move quickly. And they're not letting the North Stars get anything going here. The new goalie in there, Tegan Van Valkenburger, unless it's supposed to be Walkenberger, but it says Valkenburger on my roster. As we know, Syracuse, or home teams online has been a little inaccurate at the start of the season, but it usually improves. His centering pass, that one gets a couple deflections and not going to make it there. Has an icing called, and that's going to be coming back to the North Stars' own half. Just under 12 minutes left to go. Still only one shot on goal, and that being for the Spartans. But yeah, the new goalie in there, number 99, Tegan Van Valkenburg, I apologize, there's no at the end. Van Valkenburg yet to face a shot. That centering pass is lost in the mix of bodies, as Adrian Barnes not able to control it for the Spartans. This one down center ice. The North Stars, here comes David Cooley. Oh, tries to get that one, zips it over for Dylan Ling, but can't get it in, and that's the first shot on goal for the North Stars, is Van Valkenburg scoops that one up. Face-off going to come to the left of him, right of him, I apologize. 11:21 left. One shot on goal apiece. As Saranac comes away with it on the face-off. Rings that one around the boards. So the North Stars, Emmett Porter's old number, that's Parker Cook. Now fight for it on the right boards. Parker Cook keeps it in. Tries to get it up for Austin Clark, but no dice. Now down center ice, they're forced to chip that into their offensive zone of the Spartans. Fight for it behind the net. This one comes away, but it gets deflected off the boards. With it again, here's Parker Cook. Gets that one over to David Cooley, who loses it. Spartans going to keep it in. It's Robbie Squire. This time they're forced to reset as they lose it. They go behind the blue line. That one fired up. Rings around behind DeRoy. Here come the North Stars again. Austin Clark, he breaks free. Can he sneak through? He's got no teammates with him. They're going to try to reset. They can't keep it in, and they're forced to head back to the neutral zone. Kirkby. Let's check from behind. He loses it. It's Jack Bennett in pursuit. Sobolowski tries to grab it out of the air. Unable to do so. 2-on-2 forming. As that rebound is corralled by Kirkby. Gets it out of harm's way. So 2 shots on goal now. A combined 3 between the two teams. And we're already about 8 minutes in. That one should count as another shot on goal. So even Killian yesterday wasn't quite sure if a held puck counts as a shot on goal, but it's really anything that could have made it in the net had it snuck by. So if it's really slow-moving puck, they don't count it as a shot on goal. But that one had enough speed, so that held puck by DeRoy counts as a shot on goal. So 3 saves so far for him. And Saranac continuing with that shots on goal margin. Now we saw this in the FM game, as here comes an opportunity 2-on-1 for the North Stars. That shot high. Sneaks past Van Valkenburg. The North Stars are going to try to reset here. It's Kalen Brown, who had a hat trick yesterday and all 3 goals for the North Stars. Kalen Brown centering pass, it's broken up. Though Gabe Springer, who had some big hits and some scary situations there.
Yeah.
If you saw that game, I know you were saying you watched. Did you watch a little bit of that, Mason?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, Gabe Springer had a couple big hits and went down a couple times, but he ended up kept coming back in the game. He seemed to be doing fine, and he's doing fine here today. But yeah, we saw this similar shots on goal margin yesterday. It was a very low shots on goal to start the first period. It was against Saranac FM yesterday in that later slot game, as that pass is broken up off the skates of Kalen Brown. But yeah, we saw similar shots on goal margin. Saranac in the first period definitely had that shots on goal advantage. As there's a one-timer, just a little high for Gabe Moore. David Cooley in pursuit. He gets there in time, fires it back, but no teammates in the area, as that pass is broken up and corralled by Elliot Batty. North Stars do get it back.
Ooh, almost slipped in.
Yeah, almost slipped in, but it's held by Van Valkenburg. Not going to count as a shot on goal, I believe. Didn't have enough speed or really right angle there to sneak through if he had not held it. But Saranac maintains that 4-1 shot on goal advantage over the North Stars. But again, we saw that yesterday versus FM, and they came out on top 6-0. That one slips past DeRoy. Out on the left boards. It's trapped. Trying to poke it free of the North Stars, as they do come away with it. Austin Minkowski, first time we've seen him on the ice here tonight. Oh, and Austin Clark didn't realize he had the puck right with him, as he lost that one to Noah Terry. So the North Stars quickly take it back in their defensive half. Now trying to get something going. They fire this one for Austin Clark again, deflected off the boards, and that's going to be an icing. That'll be coming back. But so if the trend of yesterday's game says anything, and the caliber of both FM and the North Stars says anything, and Saranac being a much smaller Section 7 team, it should lean in the North Stars' favor. But, the whistle was blown for a penalty, actually. I thought. So the North Stars, yeah, I thought it was an icing too. I didn't see the signal the refs made there.
Yeah.
As I forgot his name, but we do have, he was a linesman yesterday. He's a ref here today, I believe, if the hair reminds me, as the North Stars going to have their first power play of this game with about 6:50 left to go. Let's see if they can capitalize it. It's Brody Mackomer who's in the box for the Spartans, but I believe that he was the linesman in yesterday's game. If memory serves me, I just forgot his name. Killian will be yelling at me later for that one. McComber, yeah.
Ooh, almost.
That one fired up, nice pad save, as that's going to be the second shot on goal here for the North Stars. Now, the lower volume, Brody, we'll see if that affects Van Valkenburg. If eventually the North Stars manage to sneak one through. You know, he's not facing a lot of shots on goal, so maybe he gets a little loose and the North Stars manage to catch him off guard. Saranac, good penalty kill here as they fire that one down ice. No icing, as DeRoy going to haul it in. No icing nonetheless because of the power play.
Yeah.
North Stars trying to work with about a minute left in this power play. This man-up advantage. North Star struggled yesterday. They have good puck movement. we saw it versus Auburn too, but that Auburn game they lost that 2-0 lead. And we'll see if they can capitalize on their first power play of the season. Well, not first power play, try to capitalize for the first time on a power play this season. And we'll see, towards the end of the FM game, FM started to have more shots on goal than Saranac. So we'll see if that trend continues here today as well, as the North Stars still sit with only 2 shots on goal, and we're more than halfway through this first period. 30 seconds left in this power play, this man-up advantage for the North Stars. Kalen Brown fires around the boards, and they're forced to reset. The captain, Austin Benkowski, in the neutral zone. Kalen Brown dumps that back for Gabe Springer. They lose it around the backboards. They try to get rid of it. That one cleared, and the North Stars forced to reset, and that's going to do it for the power play. So,
good defense by both teams.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Far.
Saranac. I mean, yeah, the shots on goal says it all.
Yeah.
We're less than 5 minutes left to go. We've already been through 12 minutes of this first period, and they have a six shots on goal combined amongst both teams. So, definitely not letting anything go, and not quite sure if that got deflected off the pads of Van Valkenburg, so not quite sure if they'll count that as a shot on goal. I don't think they will. So still just 2 for the North Stars. That's going to be an offsides as it just snuck out. So for those of you who didn't catch the earlier slot game on FM's channel, the Hornets took the victory 4-2. So they're leaving this regular season tournament with a 2-0 record, and they were hosting this tournament as they share this rink with the North Stars. That one heads past. It's waved off for icing. As Zane Vaughn gets there first. North Stars are able to reset. Here's Parker Cook. He tries to keep it, but he loses it in front of the net. Ooh. And great save by DeRoy.
Very
faced
physical.
Faced a couple rebounds there, and that could have been deadly, but DeRoy managed it to hold it, and here comes a face-off to the left of him. We're going to get a replay pulled up here. Yeah, gets a couple rebounds there. A lot of bodies in front of the net, and DeRoy does a great job keeping track of the puck and getting his glove on top. So 6 shots on goal. Big 2 shots on goal sequence there for Saranac, but none of them finding their way through. So one of the Section 3 teams came away with a 2-0 record in this regular season tournament. We'll see if both can, as the North Stars remain tied 0-0. 3:35 left to go in this first period of play. 6 shots on goal for Saranac. Still the lonely 2 for the North Stars. Fight for it on the backboards. That one's poked free. Austin Benkowski, the captain, comes away with it. He's moving quickly down center ice, trying to get something going here. Both defenses have been pretty stellar here tonight, Saranac especially. North Stars get a lot of shots on goal, especially last night. They
icing, maybe?
And they're going to wave it off for icing as the North Stars get there in time. Benkowski throws that along the boards. Couple small hits along the back, and there's going to be a penalty, I believe.
Saranac.
That's going to be on Saranac, I believe. Yep.
Yep.
Saranac going to the box. Not quite sure what the ref called there. We'll get confirmation in just a second, but it's Robbie Squire. As here comes another power play for the North Stars. They're 0 for 1 here tonight. So are the Spartans. We'll see if one of these teams can capitalize, as we're still tied 0-0 in this first period of play. 2:50 left to go, so about 50 seconds of even strength before we head to our first intermission. Oh, I guess not. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he was hiding behind their backup goalie there. Couldn't see him. Oh, man.
Forced to reset.
Yeah, Evan Sobolowski loses it. Unable to straddle the line, and now they're forced to head back. Got to make sure you don't enter there too quickly. Can they keep it in? They can. Penkowski over to Kaylin Brown. Still with Kaylin Brown. Nobody over there. 2 minutes roughing, yeah. So getting a little bit chippy here. See if that trend continues. Austin Penkowski fires that one over for Sobolowski. Brings that around Kaylin Brown, the 3-goal scorer yesterday. Penkowski back over, this time for Gabor. Gabor had a couple assists yesterday. He tries to keep it in. He does. Fires that one over. Back for Sobolowski. He comes back by the line. He holds. Passes that one over to Gabor. That shot deflected in front. Caught a couple blocks. Oh, great job by Gabor to grab that one. Ling, Brown with the shot. That one sneaks in front, but nobody there, as that one is cleared with 45 seconds left in the power play. Yeah, you got to give credit where credit is due to Saranac here. I mean, they got the 6 shots on goal advantage as well. The North Star is getting a couple shots on goal here in this power play period, as they're going to call that for icing. 28 seconds left to go in the power play. 1:18 left to go in the first period. Again, we'll have about 50 seconds of even strength before our first intermission break. North Star's 0 for 1 here today on power plays. So are the Spartans. Fight for it on the left boards. Comes away with the North Stars. Here's David Cooley. The senior, very productive last season. He tries to get that in front for Austin Clark, but it's held by Van Valkenburg.
Ooh, there's an injured North Star on goal.
All right, so another 2 minutes, which will carry over into the second period. So the North Stars right now have a 11-second, make it 10-second, 8-second actually. Oh, never mind. I don't know why the clock is still running.
Maybe it's the last minute they do it? Oh.
No, I don't think so.
They stopped it.
All right, so that they should reset it.
Yeah, they're telling them.
Yeah, they're talking about it right now. Yeah, that's our producer's telling us. Yeah, there should be about 8. It should be 58-8. About 1:59. So the North Stars will have about 8 seconds of a 5-on-3, and then it will be back to another power play for the North Star. So back-to-back power plays for them. It's going to be a while until we're back to even strength. Not until the second period will we see even strength.
Yeah.
And that power play will carry over into the second period. So they're still discussing it here. They're talking to the coaches over there for Saranac. Rob Knowles and Ryan Knowles, 2 of the main coaches over there, the brothers. Rob Knowles as well. Are they triplets? So Robbie Knowles, it's Robbie Knowles is the head coach. Rob Knowles, the assistant coach, and one of their other assistant coaches, Ryan Knowles. They got to be triplets. I'm calling it. Dan Jones, the head coach for the North Stars, also talking it over with the refs. And here, they're not resetting the clock. Okay, so the North Stars only have 5 seconds. That shot high, and now the clock stops. And now it starts again, so maybe making up for that time missed. And now we're back to a regular power play, 5-on-4. The North Star's going to lose it. Here's a shorthanded opportunity. DeRoy. Oh, great stop save by DeRoy. And great backup by David Cooley, who was there to clear it and keep it out of danger.
CNS keeper's on his toes.
Yeah, Adrian Barnes, great job on the breakaway. Just even better job by DeRoy to keep it out. 20 seconds left in this first period. That one fired, and it's held by Van Valkenburg. So at the end of this first period, we'll get a replay of that excellent save by DeRoy on the breakaway. 7 saves for him on 7 shots. The shots on goal starting to even out, but definitely low for this first period of play. 15 seconds left, so we'll have about a minute of power play in the second period. After we come back from the break, DeBoer sends that over to Bukowski, who fires. That one left. Bad save by Van Valkenburg. And that one's going to be fired, and that's going to do it for the first period of play. We'll have about 59 seconds of a power play. When we come back, let's take a look at that excellent save by DeRoy. Look at that. Great breakaway by Barnes. Got nobody with him, and then DeRoy just does an excellent job tracking him down, and then great defensive play there by David Cooley, the forward, who just clears that out of trouble and keeps that out of harm's way. So, in the first period of play, 7 shots on goal for the Spartans, 6 shots on goal for the North Stars. We're all tied 0-0. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. We apologize for the delay in the start of our broadcast here for the second period. We're about 15:26 left in the second period. We're just having a couple technical difficulties, but we're back. No action so far this second period. It's a one-timer shot. That gets a deflection. Here comes another opportunity, another one-timer from Kirkby, 2 in a row.
Ooh, injured.
And looks like, he's back up. He looks like we're going to get a change here. It's a little shaken up. And it's Killian Baker. He's going to, and it looks like they're going to take a second here to get a change. They did have the whistle, not quite sure, but all right. So we're back in action here. The North Stars getting quite a few shots on. 3 in a row. 3-0 run here for shots on goal for the North Stars. But one yet to find the back of the net. So 9 shots on goal for the North Stars, 7 for the Spartans. As here we get a face-off in the neutral zone. David Cooley tries to win it, but it's kicked the other way by Elliot Batty. Fight for it on the boards, Austin Clark. He pokes that one free, though it gets loose the other direction. Tracks it along the backboards. Kirkby, another nice shot from the circle, but nothing going. Kirkby gets it again. He fires. Tries to get it with the traffic, but that one is held and snuffed by Van Valkenburg. You know, the North Stars like to get a lot of bodies in front. Hopefully it gets a good bounce, good deflection, or maybe just they're trying to get the goalie to lose track of the puck is really what happens. And it's not working here for the North Stars yet. 11 shots on goal now for them. They're definitely flipping that shots on goal margin. That one fired in front. Gabe Springer was there but couldn't get the deflection in. North Stars still keep it. They've been dominating possession so far this second period. They're going to regain possession in neutral ice. This time, a shot and a score! What a goal from the left side. That's Andrew Gabor. He fires one top shelf, and the North Stars have taken a 1-0 lead. What a shot. Andrew Gabor from the left circle, and he takes it all the way. Great move there. Gets to the left circle and just shoots a top shelfer. Catches Van Valkenburg off guard, and the North Stars, after 12 shots on goal, finally gets one in the back of the net. You were going to say something, Mason? Sorry to cut you off there.
I was going to say top shetty, as they call it.
Yeah, there you go. So the North Stars have taken a 1-0 lead with about 13:50, just under 14 left to go in the second period. Now at center ice. Kalen Brown loses it. Though Gabor, who just scored the goal for the North Stars, gets it back. Gabor, after having 2 assists last night, he gets just getting confirmation, but was 99.999% sure that was Gabor. And we get confirmation indeed. So Gabor, after getting 2 assists last night, he gets his first goal of the season here in this final game of this regular season tournament hosted by the Hornets. Trying to leave this one as the second Section 3 team to have a 2-0 record in this regular season tournament. The North Stars look to improve to 2-1 after a tough heartbreaker versus the Maroons on Wednesday. They had the 2-0 lead and they lost it in the end after a heartbreaker there in Auburn. They came back, took the win versus Bethlehem 3-1 yesterday. As we get a penalty here, I believe that's going to be on the North Stars. Yep. I think so. Yep. Maybe. Yes. Okay. Austin Benkowski going to head into the box for the North Stars, and that's going to be a 2-minute power play. Man-up advantage here for the Spartans. They're getting the face-off here in their offensive zone. Down 1. We'll get confirmation on what that was for. Sends this one to the left side. Great job by Ryan Campbell to keep it, and he takes a big shot. That one fired. DeRoy leaves the crease a little bit, but not too dangerous as Gabe Moore and the Spartans here to reset. Oh, almost an opportunity there for Austin Clark if he could hold on to it. Thank you so much for joining us here on the North Star Network, as that one is snuffed and held by DeRoy, as here goes some hands flying. Oh. Oh, man.
Both teams are very feisty and defensive.
Yeah. Brody McComber is kind of, it looked like he was upset that they broke up the fight. But that's going to be coincidental minors there, so it's going to remain 5-on-4 for the Spartans, but they're going to lose 2 guys into the box for 2 minutes. But it's coincidental minors, so not going to affect the advantage for either team. It's not going to go to 4-on-3. It remains 5-on-4. So Saranac down 1, looking to capitalize on this power play. They're 0 for 1 here today. Tries to get that to center ice. No dice, as that one fired down by Gabor, who had the lone goal for the North Stars just a few minutes ago. His first of the season, and it comes at the right time for the North Stars to take the lead. So the 2 out-of-section teams, if Saranac can't come away with the victory, they're going to both leave here 0-2 in this tournament. But yeah, North Stars again, they bounce back versus Bethlehem as Van Valkenburg hands that one off. Moving quickly, floats that one back for Brody McComber. Centering pass, and that one is broken up and thrown out by the North Stars. Good penalty kill so far. About 20 seconds left in this power play. That one fired, bounces around the backboards. And that one shot down center ice. No icing. Austin Clark in pursuit there towards the puck. North Stars regain control, and the power play is over. Roscoff sends that down center ice. That one gets it up to Cooley. Cooley makes some moves, but he loses the puck in pursuit, and that's going to be brought back by Roscoff. He's going to fire it up into the zone, but it's blocked. Chase Monahan tries to float that one in. Gets nothing. Binkowski decides to backtrack instead of keeping it in, and that one's going to be brought back for an icing. 10:31 left to go. 12 shots on goal apiece. 1-0 North Stars in the second period of play. You know, I think it stands to show North Stars defense has been pretty solid here tonight, especially on the penalty kill, and then Boston DeRoy just been excellent in goal. That one fired up. Bounces off a couple sticks. Parker Cook. Landon Cook was his brother. Parker Cook keeps that one in. Back behind the boards. Back on the boards. That one floats left. Binkowski keeps it in, but it's picked off. Down center ice goes Adrian Barnes, but it's fired back. North Stars in pursuit. But they get nothing. Whistle's blown. Face off going to come to the left of Van Valkenburg. So the North Stars here take this face-off victory. The back left boards, Binkowski fires that one up, gets a couple deflections. Parker Cook snags it out of the air, drops it to himself. Gabor in pursuit along the boards. Binkowski keeps it in, tries to keep it in with his skates, but unable to do so as the North Stars forced to reset. That one brought back, waved off for icing. Parker Cook
Ooh.
Here comes Kaylin Brown. Holds it behind the net. Parker Cook chips that one up for Springer. They lose it down in their defensive half, however. Benkowski chips that one back through as Saranac going to reset. Oh, here comes an opportunity for the Spartans. That one just right of the goal as the North Stars come away with it. Chips that one up for Springer. He gets it back to Kirkby. Kirkby fires along the boards. Ling. He fires that up center ice. Waved off for icing. Spartans resetting in their own half. That pass, just a little bit too much. As the North Stars get it back. Captain Benkowski fires that down center ice. A lot of back and forth after the North Stars scored the lone goal here tonight. Or this afternoon, I should say. Keep forgetting. Most hockey's played at night, but in these tournament styles, you see a lot of morning and afternoon games. It's 2:11 p.m. In case you folks didn't know, you don't got to watch your phone on you, which you probably do. So most of you are probably watching on your phones. Our producer asked a question in my headset, and you might be asking this if you're just tuning in as a fan and don't know a ton about this tournament. It's not really a tournament per se. It's more of a, I don't know how to describe it. Killian would be able to describe it better, but it's more of a in-season play, if you will. It's like a pool play of sorts. Each team plays each other essentially, except for the North Stars and FM. The only reason the North Stars and FM didn't play each other is because they're going to be playing each other two other times this season. So that's why they decided to have them not play each other in this pool play. But yeah, it's not like the winning teams go on to play each other and then there's a championship or anything like that. It's not like the Optimist tournament. It's just kind of an in-season kind of pool play, if you will, where at least every team except for FM and CNS, the two Section 3 teams in this tournament, play each other. So actually the two Section 3 teams play each of the out-of-section teams is more how I should word it, because Bethlehem and Saranac did not play each other. So that's the better way to word it. So in case you folks were wondering, as Gabe Springer didn't realize that it was underneath him. A lot of miscommunication here tonight. North Stars losing track of the puck a couple times. We've seen it tonight. Austin Clark had a case earlier as Gabor tries to track it down in pursuit, but not able to get there quick enough. As 1-on-3 developing, but nothing to show. Adrian Barnes. That gets it up for Macomber. Has a great save. Two back-to-back saves there for DeRoy. As we'll get a replay up here on the Northstar Network.
Looks like it just got loose in front of the net.
He pushed it away, got loose, and then it got chipped up just right in his lap. Holds it together, and now it's shots on goal starting to look more in favor of Saranac. The North Stars haven't really been able to get anything going after the lone goal here this afternoon. Andrew Gabor scoring that one, but 18 shots on goal for the Spartans, 18 saves for Boston DeRoy, who had a .960 save percentage last night with 24 saves. Saranac forced to reset as that one's poked out the zone. Here in the neutral zone, it's fired up. DeRoy sticks right to track it down. Saranac going to take that shot off of DeRoy's knee pads, and a couple great saves there from him again. Now 20 saves for him, two back-to-back.
Need some help up over there.
Yeah. Actually, my mistake. I believe Boston DeRoy had 28 saves last night, if I'm not mistaken. Because if I remember us calculating it at the end of the game, I went to bed late last night, had to help my dad put in some flooring this morning, so I wasn't able to update my stats just off the top of my dome. Obviously, remember some of them from yesterday. Again, Gabor having 2 assists. Obviously, the hat trick from Kalen Brown, and then I thought it was 24, but now that I remember, we added it up to 50 total saves now in the season for DeRoy. So that would be 28 last night for DeRoy, giving him a .960 save percentage as that one's gloved. Make it 21 here this afternoon for him in the second period of play. 5:58 left to go. All right, so according to the Instagram page of the ice hockey, it's 24 saves, but I thought there was 28 shots on goal last night. But again, they might have corrected after the game. Maybe they added a couple extra shots on goal that weren't supposed to be there. So according to Leighton Sullivan, one of our former goalies, he's been gone a couple years. Trevor Smith took over last year. He just graduated. Now Boston DeRoy in goal for the North Stars. But Leighton Sullivan, the former North Star goalie, I forget which college he's going to. A lot of former North Stars going to out there in college, so obviously it's hard to keep track. But I know he's doing really good in college, and he comes back and visits. He was just here yesterday. And he obviously runs the ice hockey page, so he put down 24 saves. So I trust him more than what we saw on the scoreboard because they tend to be a little inaccurate. Not to. So that one gets blocked and deflected in front. Another pad save for DeRoy there on the left side. 22 saves for him. 22 shots on goal. We haven't seen many shots on goal recently from the North Stars. They still sit at 12. One of those managing to sneak its way through. Still decent save percentage here so far for Van Valkenburg. Only one shot through on the 12 he's faced. That one sneaks through for Clark, but it's broken up and picked off. This time by Brody Mackhomer. Tries to fire that one up top for Campbell, but unable to haul it in. Gets that to center ice. Campbell tries to fire it. That one, another deflected save off the pads of DeRoy, and he's got 23. That one flicked out. Get a replay here of another incredible Boston DeRoy save. Just tracks it down. Quick shot from Campbell, and DeRoy off the pads. He gets it. Parker Cook can win the faceoff. Gets that over the near boards for Gabor. He flicks that one up. Great job by Springer to haul it in, but man, Kalen Brown just had to wait a couple more seconds, but he just floats into the offensive zone for the North Stars just a little bit too soon, and that's going to be an offsides. Gabe Springer had some nice moves there. You know, it was flipped up. Not Kirkby, but Gabor just kind of had no option there on the near boards. He had to just kind of flip it into the neutral zone, and Gabe Springer did an excellent job hauling that one in, and he had a little bit of a breakaway there. Maybe could have got. We apologize for the technical difficulty, having some problems with the Wi-Fi. We usually don't, but we do have FM also streaming the game, so that could cause some. A breakaway shot, and that's going to sneak its way through, I believe. Oh no, they're just reacting to the save. Okay.
Goal.
All right, I thought it did.
Just because everyone else started cheering.
Yeah, I just heard a lot of cheering, and I'm like, wait, did that sneak through? No, it did not. They're just cheering on the excellent save from Van Valkenburg. North Stars are putting in front of the net. They're trying to get some deflections. Trying to get some bodies in front of the net to make Van Valkenburg lose track of the puck. Now Campbell moving quickly down ice. Moves around Kirkby. Big hit in the back from Chase Monahan. A good save from DeRoy, as that's going to be his 24th now. So the North Stars did finally get a shot on goal here in the last 3 minutes of this second period. Now, of course, they had some more shots on goal earlier in the second period, but it's been quite some time. 2:13 left to go. 1-0 your score. The North Stars lead this thing. DeRoy with, actually, they're going to give him a few more saves than just the one. He's up to 26 saves now. Double the shots on goal now for Saranac. Under 2 minutes left to go. Fight on it. The backboards. Here comes Saranac once again. 26 shots for them. None to find their way through. That one, another 27 make it. As Droy gonna swallow that one. Again, we are experiencing some technical difficulties, most likely because FM is also streaming. So if we do go down, don't go anywhere. We will get it back up. So, and we'll give you a recap if it does go down, if anything exciting happens in between. So we're nearing our second intermission here. So the North Stars finally crack one through the back of the net. Oh man,
Ooh,
that
was really close.
That was really close. That could have snuck through the post had it just been a few inches to the left. Nice pad save. Another back-to-back save.
Wow.
Sequence here for DeRoy. Gets the pad. Swallows the second one. And he's got 29 shots against and 29 saves. Yeah, the North Stars finally cracked one into the back of the net. Gabor, just a great top shelfer. On one of their 13 shots on goal.
Whoa. Penalty.
Oh yeah, they're shaking their heads there.
Number 3.
That's going to be on,
I think.
Saranac, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep, it's going to be on Saranac. Number 3, Gabe Moore. So here comes the power play for the North Stars. They're 0 for 2 today. 1:11 left to go. There will be about 49 seconds of power play in the third period, and then we'll go back to even strength. North Stars fire that one across. It's Monahan who keeps it in play. Sorry, that's actually Landon Russo getting some of his... Actually, no, that is Monahan. That 8 keeps looking like a 6. Or maybe it is a 6. It looks like an 8 on his... Wait, yeah, it looks so much like an 8 on his sleeve, but it looks like a 6 on his back. All right, so that is Landon Russo, defenseman for the North Stars, who kept that one in just a few moments ago, but now we're back. 35 seconds left to go in this second period of play, and the North Stars lead at 1-0. Here comes the penalty, I believe, on the North Stars. The whistle is blown, maybe just because of his helmet flying off. We'll see, but we're exactly 30 seconds left to play. Like on the dot, not a millisecond more. Yep, North Stars are going to go to the box, so we're going to get about 1:18 of even strength, and then the Spartans will go to a 42-second power play. So we'll see if sometimes, Mason, sometimes players like a 4-on-4. It gives them a lot. It gives them a little bit more breathing room on the ice. 2 less guys out there gives them a little bit more space. 1 less guy to pass to, but tends to be a little bit easier to breathe out there. Clark calls that one in. They fire that one up for Cooley. 15 seconds left to go. This one's probably going to end still 1-0 before the third period of play, unless the North Stars can take this one away and get a quick shot off. Probably not with less than 5 seconds. And that clock's going to expire. So we'll sit at a 1-0 score. The North Stars lead it over the Spartans here. Third period when we come back in just a few moments. It will be 4-on-4 for about 48 seconds. And then can't do the quick math, but you'll see after the 4-on-4 how much time these Spartans have on a power play. Not going to be much. We'll see if they can do anything with it. They got 29 shots on goal. We'll see if they can find one through. We'll be back in just a few. North Stars lead it 1-0. We welcome you back here to the Northstar Network, streaming live on YouTube. I'm Joey Cox, your play-by-play commentator, joined by Mason Hind, and we got our special guest here, just joining us here for the third period. It's Brody Mason. Brody, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
So the North Star is on top of this one, 1-0. Now, Brody, you've been here for a little bit of the game, so what have you seen so far from the North Stars that's led to their 1-0 lead?
Yeah, they had pretty mid puck movement in the first period. Coach definitely got at him about that in the locker room. I wasn't in there, but you can tell. And they looked a lot better in the second period, just moving the puck around and getting some shots on goal, even though they only had 7 shots that period.
Yeah. Really low shot total for the North Stars compared to Saranac, who sits at 29. We're even strength for another 25 seconds. And then we'll go to a short power play for the Spartans, who trail this one 1-0 in the third period. So it's still anybody's game with about 16 and a half left to play. Kalen Brown fires that along the boards and just clears it, as here comes the power play unit for the Spartans. Only about 28 seconds they're going to have, so they're going to need their strongest players out there, and that's why we see that quick change there last second. The North Stars, though, with the penalty kill, getting rid of it. Fire that along the boards. That one rings around to the North Stars' defensive half. Gabe Springer fights for it on the back boards. 6 seconds left, and this power play is going to expire with nothing to show. Well, really, you can't discredit them because they didn't get much time. They only got about 30 seconds of a power play. So, DeRoy, he's going to fall on top of that one just a little bit and hold it. We're going to get a face-off here to the right of him.
Yeah, Joey, I've never understood, how do they choose where the face-offs are going to be?
Oh, so essentially it's where the shot came from. Okay. Or, so like when he gets the save or when he gets the hold, it's where the shot came from. So if it's to the left of him or the right of him, it's kind of the discretion of the referees.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which we're still seeing 2 refs out there and 1 linesman, which again is not unheard of, but it's not very common in high school sports. So we got 2 refs out here today.
Yeah, I talked to the guys over there in the box, and they were saying that, I don't know if they just made the switch, but they were saying it's pretty common to only have the 1 line judge now, or lineman.
Oh, okay, so
yeah.
that must be a new commonality as of this season. It looks like we're going to get a penalty here for a slash.
Oh, he's back in the box.
Yep, I think there's going to be a slash on, and that's going to be Alex Kirkby. So now another power play, this time a full 2 minutes for the Spartans. They got 30 shots on goal, all of them finding their way into DeRoy's glove or hitting his pads. So we'll get confirmation on what that was. I believe the ref called for slashing, but we'll get confirmation in just a second. Austin Clark. Yep. So 2-minute slashing penalty there on Alex Kirkby. So now a full power play for the Spartans after only getting a 30-second power play at the beginning of this third period of play. It's do or die now, as we're in the last 14 minutes of this matchup. The Spartans with a power play, down 1. They're going to try to move quickly, get something set up. Adrian Barnes takes it all the way himself, cross center ice. By the backboards, gets a huge hit from the captain, Austin Benkowski. They're going to try to get that one out of the zone, and the North Stars are successful, forcing the Spartans to reset. Oh, here comes an opportunity for Clark. He fires. That one gets deflected and finds its way into the glove of Tegan Van Valkenburg. That's a fun name to say. Well, yesterday we had Sean LaMarche. I was talking after the game to Killian and Joe Canella, I was like, you know, it just sounds like a goalie name. Sean LaMarche. I don't know. There's something about it. And it just rolls off the tongue, too, LaMarche. I don't know. It's the French. I think that's French. I don't know. Don't quote me. Springer gets a couple deflections there off the backboards. Spartans come away with it. Under a minute left to go. Now Springer is going to try to keep this out of the Spartans' hands for as long as possible as he fires that one to the backboards. Now at center ice. Springer gets a little bit of a hit there. Thank you so much, Brody Mason, for joining us. It's down center ice. Noah Barton tries to make some moves, the sophomore, but nothing comes of it. Springer tries to fight for it. He gets tripped up at the backboards. A little bit of a hold there, but not enough to constitute a penalty. Again, if you're just joining us, as that one is gloved in a save from DeRoy, who's got 31 saves here tonight to just increase his season total of 46 with the .960 save percentage last night. If he can hold out here, it's going to help his yearly save percentage. DeRoy just kind of kicks that one out behind the net. That one rings around the backboards. It's lost. DeRoy tracks that one down, falls a little outside the crease, but he gets himself back. That one off the backboards. Fired down ice. Colin Anderson tries to track it down, but it's gloved by Van Valkenburg. But the coach was having some words with him, not quite sure. But they might count that as another shot on goal, or not that one. But the North Stars have only gotten one shot on goal here in this third period after about 5 minutes of play. Just under 12. And the North Stars still lead at 1-0 after the lone goal by Andrew Gabor. Here comes David Cooley. He's got a 1-on-2, now 1-on-3, and the play continues to develop. That shot high. It's Jacob Roskoff, the senior defenseman.
Ooh, in the back.
Yeah, a little bit of a back check there from Cooley, assistant captain. Oh, that's a good takeaway there, but a great save by Van Valkenburg. Dylan Ling, he had a lot of shots last night as Gabe Springer's stick goes flying. We're going to get a stop and play there. Not quite sure what the whistle was blown for. It's going to be a penalty, I believe. Yep. And that's going to go against Noah Barton, the sophomore. The Spartans get the penalty, and the North Stars here with a power play. Here comes Kalen Brown, the 3-goal scorer from last night, in for the faceoff. The North Star is going to ultimately win it. They're going to try to get it along the board, see if they can get it to Benkowski out at the point. They can't.
Chasing him down.
Yeah, Benkowski is chased down and tracked by Brody McComber, and he has a chance at a shorthanded opportunity, but a great save. Oh my God, it sneaks through! Boston DeRoy, he had it, but it looks like it got lost under his pads, and I think it might have snuck through. We'll get a replay on that one. There he goes with the shot. You can see it's free, and I think they just chipped it above him. He was outspread, you know, tried to get a nice butterfly save there, and he does. He just wasn't able to track it down to the right of him, and that one sneaks through. That one sneaks through. Oh, great rebound save from Van Valkenburg. So that's going to be Brody McComber who gets the score. We'll see if some of the North Stars players who are, like for instance, well, David Cooley, he had the one goal in the Auburn game. He was one of the more productive juniors last year. Him and Andrew Gabor are really the more productive of the juniors. Gabor being a Liverpool player. So if this remains 1-1 at the end of the third, it will go into overtime. Austin Clark. And then from there, shootouts. There's no ties in hockey. There are overtime losses, however, which still earn you a point. Oh, a little bit of a tripping there. Not quite sure who got in the mix to lead to that. Trip up there by Ryan Campbell. That one loose in front. North Stars unable to get there. But yeah, Dylan Ling had a lot of nice looks last night. We'll see if maybe he can try to sneak one through to take the lead again. That is Gabe Springer, who looked like he wanted to go for Clark, but a little bit miscommunication there. Roscoff. Now Gabor, who scored the lone goal for the North Stars earlier. He fires that one up. Very similar to the shot we saw earlier from him. That one, a little bit of a one-timer from Roscoff. Doesn't get anywhere. And Benkowski, after going off a couple Saranac players, he manages to keep it in. Here comes Gabor again. And a great save by Van Valkenburg. We'll get a replay of that one up. Then after allowing that one in the second period, Van Valkenburg been getting a lot of nice pad saves here tonight. And he gets one there in a timely moment. 8:30 left to go, and we're all knotted up 1-1. And the tough thing about that goal from Saranac, it was tough for DeRoy to be able to do anything about it. You know, the last shot, he kind of had to spread out. Once he spread it out, a little bit of a quick shot there for Colin Anderson, the defender. As here comes a one-on-one opportunity developing, and that's a good save from DeRoy. But yeah, that was a tough one. You know, he got the nice pad save, that butterfly save from DeRoy on that goal earlier from McComber, you know, and then he was spread out on the ground. Not much he could do there to prevent it, unless he had gotten up really quick and then maybe got his hand in there. But, you know, there was a Saranac player being the person who scored it, Brody McComber. You know, he's right there for the rebound, and he just chipped it up where DeRoy wasn't. So, got to give credit where credit is due. DeRoy still having an excellent night if the North Stars can come away with this victory. That one looked like he lost track of it, Van Valkenburg. And so do the North Stars. Dylan Ling, who again has had some nice luck. He gets the puck, holds it. And here comes the face-off to his right. That one fired off the pads of DeRoy, and that one heads all the way back down ice. Wasn't even touched by anybody after it hit DeRoy's pads. So that one fired back the other direction, waved off for icing. Benkowski there rings it around the back. We apologize for some of the technical difficulties with the lagging. You're probably hearing my voice lagging as DeRoy falls on top of that one. All right, so according to our producer, my voice is actually fine, so well, as long as you're able to hear me, it can be a little bit of a radio broadcast if the video is not working perfectly, but we have been having to share. We don't use the guest Wi-Fi. Luckily, we have access to a separate Wi-Fi, but we believe FM also has access to that separate Wi-Fi. So here comes a face-off now to the left of DeRoy. 6:37 left to go. 20 shots on goal for the North Stars, 35 for the Saratoga. You know, they're kind of, Saranac, Saratoga, they're not. Saranac Lake, different story, but Saranac, they both start with an S. Saranac Spartans, 35 shots on goal. We're all tied 1-1 in this third period of play. So North Stars come away with it in their own defensive half. Colin Anderson fires that one up center ice. Lost track for a second. They're moving quickly. That one fired to the left of Van Valkenburg. It's Landon Russo. Oh, a huge hit from Colin Anderson, and he's going to be brought to the penalty box for that one. That's going to be roughing. Well, unnecessary roughness, if you will. We're going to get a replay of that huge hit. Bam, look at that. Smacks him right into the boards. And he's going to go in there for unnecessary roughness. Or just, I don't think they call it unnecessary roughness. I think they just call it roughness. Roughing. Roughing, that's it. I'm thinking of football there. So a 2-minute power play here for Saratoga.
Bro.
All tied up
Saranac.
1-1. Oh, why do I keep saying Saratoga? I think this is only the second time I've said it.
Yeah, but still.
So it's only the second time. Okay, Saranac. They both start with an S. They both have a lake. You know. As our producer just said to me, tomato, tomato. Speaking of tomato, tomato, they got tomato colors. So there you go. So here comes a power play. 2 minutes for Saranac. Make it 1:30 now. They try to keep it in. Let's see what the penalty. Oh, interference. All right. So sort of the same thing, if you will, but good extra effort from Gabe Moore to try to keep it in, but unable to do so. This one is brought back to the left of Van Valkenburg. It's Gabe Moore. Tried to keep it in earlier, moving in his own defensive half. He does a little spin move, backtracks, sends that up ice for Brody McComber, who scored the lone goal for the Spartans. He loses it, but his teammate there to back him up. Does a little bit of a spin, a lot of bodies in front of the net. That one gets deflected. A little bit of a block in front. Forced to reset, Gabe Moore. Fires that one up ice. It's Rob Squire, who dumps that one off for his teammate. And that one fired away. The penalty kill for the North Stars. Just about 30 seconds left in this power play and about 4:45 left to go in this third period of play. We got an exciting game on your hands, folks. It is anybody's game. We're all tied 1-1. All knotted up. Campbell keeps it in. The North Stars are going to get it. 11 seconds left, just under 10 now in the power play, and the North Stars are going to have a successful penalty kill. So no team able to capitalize on power plays. Both goals from both teams coming on even strength. DeRoy does a great job tracking down that puck. They don't get the shot off, but he sticks with it. North Star is going to make some moves. Jack Bennett snags it out of the air, dumps it off for himself. Deflected and out to the back of the North Stars offensive half. That one chipped up from Kirkby. Kirkby going to fire that one in front. Nobody there. Jack Bennett was the closest one. A lot of players calling for it. They fired up for Jack Bennett, unable to corral it in. Sobolowski back to Bennett. Kirkby. Kirkby's going to fire high. And great job by Jacob Roskoff to straddle the line and keep it in. Fires that and deflects it off the boards. That's Kalen Brown. Let's see if he can bring some of last night's magic here tonight. Here's a 2-on-2 developing. He's tripped up. Good thing there was no separation. That one fired up in the North Stars offensive half. Nobody there. Jack Bennett in pursuit. That's going to be a one-timer there from Clark. But he didn't get enough on it, and blockers in front of the net. Nothing going for him. That one fired out, so the North Stars are going to have to reset, but they're still going to have it. Well, now Campbell has a nice play developing. He fires just high over DeRoy's head. Nothing coming of that. 2:28 left to go. This clock's going quickly. We're all tied, still 1-1. If it remains tied, we'll go to overtime. That's going to be icing. It'll be coming back into the North Stars' defensive half. Brody, what have you seen that you think the North Stars might be able? You know what? I worded that poorly. Ignore me. What did? Oh, your last name? No. What am I? Jeez. I don't know what I'm saying today. Ace and Alex Schneible here, and of course our camera operator and color commentator Mason Hind. I'm Joey Cox, your play-by-play commentator. Thank you so much for joining us here. We're all tied up with just over a minute left to go. We'll go into overtime. We'll go into penalty shots if need be until a winner is determined. No ties in ice hockey, only in field hockey, the other hockey that. So here comes another face-off after that one is held by DeRoy. His face-off coming to the right of him. 1 minute left to play in the period. 1 minute. As this is do or die for either team if they want to win this thing in regulation. Fight for it on the right boards. That one fired up to the right of the net past DeRoy. Here comes Kalen Brown. Fires that one up. Gabe Springer, here's an opportunity for him. Not enough separation to deem. Oh, let's see. Oh, man, not enough separation, I don't think, to deem that a penalty shot. So Gabe Springer had a nice breakaway there, just couldn't get enough separation. So Saranac with a penalty, and here's a late power play for the North Stars. So we are going to get a timeout, it looks, by the North Stars, I believe, with 26.1 seconds left to go in this final period of play until we go to overtime. Now, this would be a question for Killian Heffron. I don't know if the power play carries over to overtime. That is an unknown. Well, we'll find out if the North Stars can't score in the next 26 seconds. So we'll take a break here on the Northstar Network as the North Stars, I believe, are going to take a timeout. I believe it is the North Stars, yes. Yep. All right, so penalty on Saranac and the North Stars taking a timeout. We'll be back in just a few. Here we go, 26.1 seconds left. We'll find out if that power play carries over if we do indeed go to overtime. The North Stars could have a chance to end this game in regulation if they can score in the next 18 seconds. They have the power play. Benkowski over to Kalen Brown! He scores! Kalen Brown with 11.5 seconds left to go in the power play. And Kalen Brown, 3 goals last night and potentially the game winner tonight.
Wow.
Wow. Just a top shelfer. Beautiful. Kalen Brown with the one-timer. And he gives the North Stars the lead from the power play. Wow. 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 I'm at a loss for words. Oh, my God. Now, we interviewed Kalen Brown last night, so I don't know. He might be, I don't know. I mean, Boston DeRoy still had an excellent night despite the 1 goal allowed, but we'll see. So I'm at a loss for words. So it looks like there's going to be a timeout here taken from Saranac. So we'll be back in just a few. Kalen Brown with the potential game-winning goal off the power play. Power play is going to go away. We'll be back to even strength for 11.5. We'll see if Saranac can do anything. We welcome you back as here we get a face-off in center ice. Saranac going to have very little time as the goalie is pulled. And that one may find its way in. No. And that's going to be an icing, so it gives Saranac 4 seconds. And they're going to get the face-off in the North Stars' defensive half. Here we go. There's a fight for the puck, and that's going to do it. The North Stars take the victory off Kalen Brown's winning goal. What an incredible game. Mason, wow. Mason, what are your thoughts on that last few minutes of the North Stars play?
That timeout must have done something to them.
Yeah. Whatever Coach Dan Jones talked about in that timeout was enough to give the North Stars the victory. Boston DeRoy gets a .972 save percentage here tonight, 35 saves on 36 shots against. And then, of course, obviously, you had Andrew Gabor scoring the earlier goal, and then, of course, Kalen Brown, who had a hat trick last night and gets the game winner tonight. I mean, I can't think of a better 2 games in a row for him. What an incredible game. So the North Stars lining up to give their handshakes and their congratulations, their good games to Saranac, as that's going to do it for us here on the Northstar Network. Thank you so much to our producer, Alex Schneible, of course, our camera operator, and my my color commentator, Mason Hind. I'm Joey Cox saying so long from the MAC. The North Stars take down Saranac 2-1.